Chad Marshall just before the game. First off, what's his status? And second off, how difficult is it, and how do you regroup like that just before the match?
Illness, not a problem, because Tony came in and did a great job. They played 3 out of that 4, back 4, played against Necaxa, so I had no issues with, and no drama. You just plug the next guy in, he steps up, he does his job. Tony did well.
Coach, what went into the decision to start Jordy Delem, and what do you think of his time to play tonight?
Good. Well, it's just Fish still was a little dinged up with his hamstring. I didn't know if he could make 90. So that was kind of the main reason for that. But he did okay. You saw what he brings. He brings a little tenacity. He jumps well. He won some headers. So overall, pretty good. Overall, pretty good.
Jeff? Given the context of what was going on with your defense and missing all those regulars, I mean, what did you think of the job that Gustav did, sort of anchoring that back line a little, especially towards the end of the first half? I mean, those 2 really nice plays.
Yeah, Jeff, you are a smart guy. You probably know this even ahead of me. This was our first clean sheet of the year, so that is a pretty big statement. Steph certainly came up with a couple of big saves, but I mentioned Tony. Gustav was great again. Delem learning that position. Is that his real position? No. And Jovan was his usual good self. So all around the back 4 and Steph were great. But you always have to remember that this is a team game. And so when I looked at the first half, a lot of guys were doing work higher up the field. Ozzy and Christian did a good job cleaning stuff up even before it got to the back 4. And then in the second half, when we were, getting on top of them a little bit, and Clint comes on, I think the game really turned in our favor, and those guys had a little less defending to do other than the counterattacks that Atlanta was coming at us with.
Ryan? Coach, coming into tonight, Atlanta only had 1 scoreless half offensively all season. Shut out here tonight for the first time. I know you had a back line that was sort of kind of last minute put together. What did they do so well to mitigate that potent Atlanta attack?
Well, they all played hard with the right amount of aggression without getting themselves in trouble. I think positionally they were very sound. As individuals, they defended well, and also as a group, they defended well. Again, like I said, it's credit to the back 4, it's credit to Steph, but the entire team, I thought, played well defensively. I know Atlanta was missing, their leading scorer, but it's still a very potent team.
Hey, Brian, was the final long play Clint at some point, or did you kind of let instinct kind of dictate?
Look, if we were ahead 3-0, I might have had a different mindset, but Clint was going to play. There's no question that he was going to play.
Stretch.
What was missing from the match? Just the final pass in each box for both teams, really.
Yeah, maybe the final pass, maybe just a little bit of luck. I mean, Clint comes in, his first touch, I think, was off the post or crossbar. We got to do a better job as coaches to get them, feel confident in front of goal. I think there were some guys that might have been a little hesitant to pull the trigger. It's something that we can't micromanage what they do because they're such talented guys. But we need to get a few more shots on target. I mean, we had 19 open play crosses, which is a lot. They only had 6. But we just need to get that shot count up a little bit and getting the shots on target a little bit higher.
Daniel?
Jordy Delem tonight making his debut. He's a guy who you signed last year, played a full season in S2, comes up, makes his debut today, and obviously does a good job. How much does that say and show the goal of what S2 is all about and kind of what you're hoping to get out of that in the player kind of development model?
Well, we signed 2 this year. Hopefully we'll sign many more in the years to come. It's testament to Ezra and his staff. It's testament to the commitment of this club to bring players up through the academy, through S2, and then into the first team. That makes a lot of sense for a lot of different reasons. But at the end of the day, the individuals have to do it. And I think Jordy takes a little bit of credit there because, he's a talented kid and he works hard. Zach Mathers, he'll get his chance at some point as well. And, we all think Zach's improved with his time at S2. So for us, it's it's just normal course of business from this point forward.
Follow-up questions? Yeah, right here, please.
Sorry, running back on something else here. Christian Roldan had his motor going all night, and what does it say to have a player like that you can go to for 90 minutes and he's going to give you everything he's got?
Usually Matt Johnson asks me those layups, but thank you for that question. Christian, again, was great tonight. The kid shows that his desire to win is always there. His ability to power through things, even when you think he's tired, he still chases guys down, and that pressure he put up in the right-hand corner there, just 1 against 2, and he's stealing balls off those guys. It was really tremendous to see, and again, the kid has a really, really bright future. In my mind, with people that are above my pay grade. I mean, there's other people that should be watching that kid because he's tremendous.
Did you envision him as a right back as an option, and it's just happened in these last 2 home games?
No, it's just circumstantial, really. I mean, I wanted to keep the attacking movements. I wanted to bring Henry on. I don't know if I'll do that later in the season when we have everybody healthy, but it's certainly a nice option to have.
Schmetzer?
Harry Shipp came on again today, and he kind of played a similar role that he has the last couple of games for you. Are you happy with his output creatively?
Sure. Another connector. We like to play a possession-style game, like to wear teams down. He fits into that mold. He's also versatile. He can come inside, he can stay outside, he can drop in next to Ozzie when we need to. So he's been a good addition to the club for sure.
You touched on it a little bit, but could you expand on what it is you kind of have seen from Jordy Delem and like about his skill set that gave you the confidence that you could start in tonight?
Well, what I like about Jordy is he has been pretty steady. Even his time at S2, if you watch some of those games, there was not like all the ups and downs. It was, he's on a pretty good path, pretty good trajectory. Everybody has little ups and downs, but as a coach, you don't like putting guys on that have really high highs and low lows. You like the guys that, okay, you understand they're going to have an off day, and other days they'll be, good. You like that little bit steadier guy. That's number one. Number two, like I said, he's physically pretty good. He's good physically. I think if I had to say what his areas that he needs to improve on, and again, in our system, the right backs have to get forward. So a couple times he got caught out there on the right, and did he run out of ideas? Did he cross the ball to the right spots? Those are some of the things we'll work on him with. But overall, commitment, effort, all 100%. Technically, he's okay, clean, and he wants to be here, which is another big reason I like him.
Jackson?
Coach, after everything that happened in the second half of 2016 with Clint Dempsey, have your personal expectations from what you've seen in the last few weeks and 4 goals in the 2 U.S. men's national team matches, have they changed from the start of the season to where they are now?
My expectations of Clint? Well, I think it's just a bonus, really. I don't know if there's any added expectations. I mean, it's an added bonus that he's scoring goals, and certainly we would hope that his goal-scoring form continues with us, not just with the national team. But having Clint back was, I would call it more of a bonus. The expectations are always in line with, reality. I mean, we didn't know if he was going to come back. There were decisions that we made and didn't make because of Clint. Now that we have him back, now we have a set path. Now we know what we can do, what we can't do, and, we're happy to have him.